is Mendel, straight from Amsterdam, in my makeshift radio studio. I've been here in kind of a lockdown, but we're allowed to go outside here in the Netherlands, and the weather has been really good the past few weeks, so we've been lucky. I've been asked by La Cabane in Brussels to select some records for you guys and tell something about them, about the selection. I first thought to select some favorite records that I found beautiful, but a lot of those records I don't have much to say about them, so I thought I'd select the records that I have a bit of a story to tell, and going through the record shelves was definitely a lot of stories came to mind, but I tried to pick some a bit in chronological order of when I picked them up, and I hope it's an interesting story. I'll play snippets of the records, and then if you really like the song, then you can find it. So here we go. One of the first records I got, I'm from a period in time where CDs were already around, and the first albums I had were on CD, and I had a turntable which I used for scratching. So the first few records were records that I found in either my parents' collection or whatever, and was messing around with. But the first record with music on it that I really liked, that I got, was this Gangstar 12-inch, which is definitely not their best work, but it's the first record I got, so you don't part with those. And I got it for my birthday from my parents, and let's see, it's 2002, which means 18 years ago, which means I was about 14 years old. I'll play a snippet.
Skills.
My microphone. It's skills. The funky beat. It's skills.
Skills. Top rank, point blank, we vital. Spit flows, whip shows, peep the recital. Skills. Now, you feel it when we drop those hot beats, stop foes, killing shit, we got those. Skills. It's the music that the street loves. Each thug is now repping this with deep love. Skills. Gangstar, dueling again, ruling again. Watch as we do it again.
Yeah. So not their best work, but after that I listened to a lot of Gangstar. DJ Premier was definitely my hero, starting out DJing. The first gig I played was I guess 2 years later in Hip Hop Café de Duivel, and afterwards the guy who worked there said, I liked it, but maybe next time you can try to bring a bit less DJ Premier records. I guess the whole set was filled with it. But the first few CD albums I owned were these two. Extins, which is a Dutch rap album, and I think is one of the first Dutch rap things that really charted, or at least one of the first Dutch language hip hop albums that made it to the charts here, and it's still really good, I think.
Nummer 1. Het is feest. We gaan feest vieren, lieve toehoordertjes.
1, 2, oké, vooruit dan. Ik breng de binnenlandse funk op verzoek. Die gaat erin als koek, ik zet stoute rappers in de hoek. Want ik ben jullie meester, weet je nog, je wist ervan. Hip-hop is een vak en Extins is de vakman. Nou volgens menige ben ik de enige, de uitverkorene. Snap je, er valt niet aan te torenen. Yo, ik ben breed goed, zit nou eenmaal in mijn bloed. Luister dan, hitgevoelig als ABBA en flexibel als Barbapapa. Geloof me nou, ik swing de van uit. Ik kom met vette hits, ga daar maar van uit. Ik bedoel, dit is niks voor de X. Ik doe dit al vanaf mijn melktanden. Vanaf de aapnoot mies en ik smeer mijn stembanden met mijn spraakwater. Nou allemaal uit volle borst.
Spraakwaterlessen dorst. Ja. And at the same time, this was let me see. This was 98. 98. So I guess I was 10, 11 years old, and then at the same time. I got this, so the CD, because I bought these two records later, but I got this CD, which for me was one of the, was really an eye-opener. Young guy going into puberty, and this Wu-Tang, you had all these characters, and it was very... they did great storytelling on their records, and although I didn't understand a word of what they were saying, the imagery was very strong, and I guess that appealed a lot to a young white boy going into puberty. And especially this song, when this came on, was I was sold.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men. We must expand, get more pupils, so that the knowledge will spread.
Struck a match to the underground. Industry ignited from metaphorical parables to fertilize the earth. Wicked niggas come, trying to burglarize the turf. Scatting off soft ass beats, them niggas rap happily. Tragically, that style deteriorate rapidly. Uncompleted missions, throwing your best known compositions. You couldn't add it up if you master addition. Where I come from, getting visuals, habitual. You're more safe walking on hot coal and rituals. I splashed the paint on the wall, formed a mural. He took a look, saw the manifestation of it was plural. Rhyming while impaired, dart hits your garment. Pierce your internals, streamline compartments. Just consider the unparalleled advantage of a natural disaster that's impossible to manage.
Bitch ass niggas counterfeit the funk. I smoke the feet of the skunk, tree top of the trunk. Moonshine drunk, get monk, yeah, get shrunk. The treasure stunk, I be fucking bitches by the junk. My name Black, you words wanna play in my dirt? Bitch stop, my mama serve free lunch from the church. I come like 1,000 dust. Bitch, you quiet at the bus, making the fuss. I got self-love, ungloved the news. Watch a nigga transfuse. 30 after the fuse, heavy at the booze. I don't walk, I get carried. Golden platinum bitch beads on my wall, looking properly but comely. I UFO you right, brothers. The Indian and soul man had entered the white man, my grandfather. Step up and get knocked right the fuck out. Come to the cookout, dirty bitch at the mouth. You scared, run around like the plane about to crash.
Yeah, so I didn't understand a word of what they were saying, but the motherfuckers was definitely something cool, and all the best. I mean, it's mind blown, of course. Yeah. So afterwards followed a lot of classic hip hop albums, which you didn't have that much records, so they got played a lot. Things like Nas, Illmatic, and Black Moon, Enter the Stage is something I still sometimes listen to. If I listen to a hip hop album, this is one of the top picks, because it's from A to Z, it's just it's so clearly one thing, one story, one vibe, original, and really strong. I'll play a bit of it.
No question, get up a dime spotter, then the morgue to the dread section. Roots hit me off lovely, coming out the spot, I had to duck because the nigga tried to bump me. I'm eating off the block like what up, hot bucks, pulling out on cops, cause I want free Glocks, what the fuck? Bring your bitch ass tight brigade, hitting the morgue, guns and hand grenades. I resemble the man that's wanted for murder, got your block locked down, so don't come any further. And my clip is a 22 dum-dum. Oh yeah, I seen your moms, I hit her off with a jump. You know what I'm saying? Or read it, but forget it. I like this short fly, so I'ma still get paid. I don't sweat it. I'm the MC's nightmare manifested. A little shorty, pushing the fact that I'm
Yeah. And at the same time, there was also, I guess, the happier side of hip hop, with things like De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest, which I listened a lot. And this deserves an honorable mention, I think, is Arrested Development with Mr. Mendel, which gave me my DJ name. It's a song about a bum, a nice, cool lyric. Yeah. So and then slowly I got into, I started working at a record shop, I think. Or no, this was still before. And I slowly started getting into other styles of music, especially through the original breaks, the sampled the samples that were used in hip hop, this is famous thing, Minnie Riperton used in Tribe Called Quest. You'll recognize it if you don't know it already.
Things I say and do may not come clear through. My words may not convey just what I'm feeling, but I hope you recognize what's right before your eyes. Oh, your heart should realize from where I'm dealing. Baby, I'm trying to show you that I love you. Baby, I'm trying to show you that I care. Baby, I'm trying to tell you that I need you. Baby, I'm trying to tell you that I care.
Yeah, such an incredible song. It's actually blasphemy to cut it short, but I gotta keep it moving due to time constraints. Let's listen to this first.
Girl, I surely hate that I ever walked away. Would it help much if I say that I was wrong? Girl, I know I was wrong. I feel just like a fool, but I have every reason to. 'Cause I deserted you when I left home. Yeah, when I left home. You got the right to be disgusted. After all you trusted, me and I was
Baby, won't you please try to forgive the guy that made you cry, won't you?
Yeah, so I mean, you can hear it's basically a hip hop beat. It's a Willie Mitchell production, and you know the drums, and it's already a hip hop beat and sampled by people like the RZA for the Wu-Tang. Sorry, this is Syl Johnson. I don't know if I mentioned that. Syl Johnson, beautiful album, and you know these were the first soul records I bought, yeah, I guess also, you know, getting a bit older, a bit further into puberty, and having your first heartbreaks and stuff, then this starts resonating more in the emotional content of it. So and then my first night that I organized was called the Daisy Age, and was basically based on it was something that the De La Soul thought of, Daisy Age, and it was based on the conscious hip hop, or the more positive side of it, and we wanted to back then the hip hop nights were already slowly dying. I mean, and we wanted to do something that was a bit more uplifting, and so we played this side of the hip hop mixed with all kinds of things. Then and also slowly the disco stuff started creeping in. I'll play a few things quickly. Money Love. So these were the records that basically never left my bag for a couple of years.
But before we let the herd out the gate, make sure all the levels are straight out. The jungle, the brothers.
Yeah. And then, back then I worked at Waxwell Records, and one of my colleagues recommended me some boogie disco things, and I slowly started getting into that also. First because it was more, the sampled things were sampled in hip hop, and later I started to understand the the real the appeal of that music. And yeah, so this I guess these two I'll play next are my first disco records that I owned. As sampled by Black Sheep. Still great records. The first one, Young and Company, I like, and that's the name, that's the title of the song. I like, but I like it as well. And the second one is the SOS band, Take Your Time. Yeah. So I guess afterwards I started getting more and more adventurous. Actually, the first time I heard of Fela Kuti, it was from a DJ from Amsterdam called Kid Sublime, and I was working in this coffee place, not a coffee shop, but coffee place. That and Kid Sublime sometimes came in and we chatted a bit about music and stuff. And one day he said, "You gotta check out Fela Kuti." So I did, but I skipped through it, a lot of the songs, and I didn't understand it. It was a bit too chaotic for me, or it didn't catch my attention at first. And then I think a few years later, we had a whole bunch of Nigerian records in the store, and so I started listening to more things, and then the Fela Kuti playing it from start to finish, and that definitely changed my life, or at least my musical life, because that was something completely different from what I knew, and I guess everybody who's familiar with his music can agree that is life changing. And so this was my first Vela record, and it's no, you gotta listen to the whole thing, but I'll play the intro bars and you'll get you'll catch the drift maybe.
Aṣọ tó máa fi náà ẹ òjé ló ń jẹ́ kí ló ṣe é pé o ṣàkàrà olóòjé ni. Tó bá bó ní ṣàkàrà pàdé aṣọ tó máa fi náà ẹ òjé ló ń jẹ́ kí ló ṣe é pé o ṣàkàrà olóòjé ni. Ṣàkàrà pàdé pàṣẹ tó máa fi náà ẹ òjé ló ń jẹ́ kí ló ṣe é pé o. Ṣàkàrà olóòjé ni. Ṣàkàrà olóòjé ni o. Ṣàkàrà olóòjé ni. Ṣàkàrà olóòjé ni o. Ṣàkàrà olóòjé ni. Ṣàkàrà olóòjé ni. Ṣàkàrà olóòjé ni. Ṣàkàrà olóòjé ni o. Ṣàkàrà olóòjé ni.
Yeah, that I mean, time and time again, it gives me almost goosebumps. If you're not familiar with Vela, check it out. I've been listening to it a lot actually in these quarantine days in the morning to give the day a bit of a energetic start and get inspired. Then when we played, when we did the Daisy Age parties, we used to invite sometimes KC, the Funkaholic, for the Dutch. He's very well known as one of the godfathers of the scene here, house, hip hop, and all kinds of other music. And one of the things he introduced me to was the beauty of Brazilian music. Which I had heard a lot of Brazilian things before that, but mostly the bossa nova things and maybe some of the bossa nova, the beats re-edit things. But Case played some otherworldly Brazilian music, and I was like, wait, this is why it's beautiful. And so I remember him very well playing this, and on one of our parties, and still one of my favorite Brazilian albums, Sapote da Mangueira, which is basically a samba record.
samba parar. Com batuque lelê, com batuque lalá. Segura esse samba, não deixa esse samba parar. O samba, portador da alegria. Com batuque lá no morro, a gente canta noite e dia. O samba, portador da alegria. Com batuque lá no morro, a gente canta noite e dia. O meu viver se faz na graça de um amor, na distância de uma dor. Faço a tristeza sorrir. Vai, saudade, que o samba trouxe de volta a liberdade. Vai, saudade, que o samba trouxe de volta a liberdade. Com batuque lelê, com batuque lalá. Segura esse samba, não deixe esse samba parar. Com batuque lelê, com batuque lalá. Segura esse samba, não deixe esse samba parar.
Yeah, Sapoti da Mangueira. And yeah, after that, it opened the floodgates to Brazilian music pretty much. And thanks, Casey, for that. I guess what, you know, going through my records, definitely these sparked the story, and that's the first two edit records that I released. Yeah, of course, the first record that you have with your name on it, although it's maybe just an edit, but having a record with your name on it is definitely a really cool thing after you've been collecting records for a long time. So these are the Basic Fingers, my first edits, and the other one is the Street Edits, which was on Rahan's label, and I mean, we don't need to play them right now, but yeah, a special moment. And you know, there's a lot of things I would do differently now hearing them back, but I guess that's the nice thing about these records, is that it's time document, and you know, things that are in the closet, you won't buy them now. Maybe you won't buy them now, you wouldn't make them now in the same way, but it has a history to it, and I guess humans are quite attached to this nostalgia or whatever. Yeah, I'm running out of time. There's a lot of things that I would still want to tell a story about, but I guess one of the things that one of the records that really drew me into house was the Fingers Inc. Record, and then I understood that also house had many different faces, and wasn't just straight up, but could be emotional as well. And so this is I mean, for many people this is ABC music history, but for those who for who it's not, check out the Fingers Inc. album for sure. Yeah, so I guess I'll leave it at that, and I hope you enjoyed this story. It was a lot of talking and not much music, but there is a lot of music on my SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Mendel, where you'll find a lot of things that I picked up more recently, and where that are just very beautiful and that we don't need to talk about. But I hope you enjoyed this little story, and I wish you all well in this quarantine. Peace out.